Hey everyone, Mike here with the Cannabis Superstore. We've had a lot of new growers come out to the shop this year, and we had even more come to us online, and now you're having a lot of common questions, so we've decided to make a video to help you guys out. Most common question coming up right now is, how often do I water and how much should I water? Now, even though there is no simple answer for that question, we're gonna give you guys a couple of tips and things to look for to see if it's time for you to water and whether or not your plant needs it. So the first thing I recommend for everyone to do is feel their pot after it's been watered and when it's been dried. Feel the weight difference. This will be a quick indicator for you to know whether or not there's still a lot of moisture or little moisture left in your pot. Take a look at your leaves. If your leaves are drooping down like the picture, that means they're probably time for watering. If they're starting to perk up and stand up nice and plump, it means they're properly hydrated and that your humidity is right on point. Before watering, please ensure that you pH adjust all your water. If you're hydroponics, you want to stick between 5.6 and 6.0. If you're in living soil, you can go from 6.0 to 6.5, all depending on your strain and how it uptakes its nutrients. There is no one specific number, the same way there's no one specific amount for how much water you actually need. Once your nutrients have been mixed and your pot is ready to get watered, please ensure that if it's bone dry, that you pre-mist and pre-water the soil first. This will ensure that when you start watering, you're not actually just going to let it fall all the way through because your medium is so dry. The more perlite that's in the medium, the more porous it's going to be, and it's not really going to allow the water to properly and evenly absorb throughout your pot. I like to pre-soak for a couple of minutes and let it sit. If it's been pre-soaked, it's actually going to allow the water to evenly distribute amongst my pot. When it comes to the question of how much water, every grower has their own style. Personally, because of the amount of nutrients I use, I always ensure that I'm actually watering to flush every time. This will ensure that I'm not getting much salt buildup going on my roots and that my plant's actually uptaking the right amount of nutrients. If you're curious to see if your plant is actually absorbing the amount of nutrients that you're putting in, I recommend getting a TDS meter or something that can measure your parts per million. That way you'll know exactly how much was absorbed, how much is left over, and this will ensure that you're not over-nutrient or overfeeding your plant. Now that everything's been pre-soaked, I let my water sit for a while. What it means to water to flush is I'm literally going to introduce water evenly in a circular motion until I see water coming out the bottom of my pot. I'm actually going to do this until my saucer is almost fully filled up. This will be about 10% of the water content that's going into my pot. Now that your saucer's filled up, make sure you guys don't let this stagnant water sit. Vacuum, dump it out, do whatever you can to make sure it doesn't sit there for long, because it's essentially all the toxins are now sitting in that water. Guys, this has been watering, and it's just one of many tips that we're going to be covering on our live seminars every Sunday at 5 p.m. We're going to be doing a full grow together, answering all your questions to make sure that we grow some fire this season together.